Hello, dear listeners. This week we are playing an oldie but goodie, our episode Cult of the Bangs, originally published in April of 2021. Alissa and I wanted to share this with you in case you forgot to listen way back then. Enjoy! Hi, I'm Britt.
And my name is Alissa.
And this is SkeleTales.
And this is the podcast where we try to answer the age-old question of, is my dead grandma watching me?
Alissa, do you know when you decide to go on a Saturday afternoon grocery shopping and you're like, shit, it's going to be so busy.
Yeah.
Parking lot's full. And you drive up, you're like, just maybe let me check. You drive up to the front and there's that empty open parking space right there. Dead grandma, baby. She's got your back.
What did she do? What did she have to do to swing that?
She made that spot invisible for everybody else except you. Oh, you froze so bad.
You froze.
You froze.
You froze. You know when you're making dead grandma jokes and then your Zoom freezes?
Yeah.
That's totally your grandma saying, knock it off.
Oh, stop talking shit about me.
I am a decent...
Good one.
All the beautiful things that are happening in your life, it is me. Stop it. I have nothing to do with that poop feeling. Girls, just stop this. I don't approve. That's what grandma's saying.
That's a good grandma voice. I like your grandma voice.
Thank you. Get in there.
But let me tell you, we also talk about more than just dead grandmas. We talk about supernatural.
Paranormal. Unexplained. Mystery. Mysteries.
Mystery. God, my brain just shut completely off.
See.
I was like, words and things and stories.
Spaceships, aliens, witches. I don't know.
Strange coincidences.
Yeah, we did family mysteries.
You know, we're open,
Secrets.
honestly.
Anyone had like a family member who's in the CIA or FBI? Or pretended that they were, and they were actually just not the FBI or CIA. They just worked.
A friend of mine dated somebody who used to work in like high level military. Secret? They knew military secrets, anyways.
The UFO.
But I don't think he was necessarily in the military. I think that was like her main turn on. Is just like he has so many secrets, like big secrets, and then that wore off and she broke up with him.
Yeah, but he can't tell her. Where's the fun in that?
Tell her. Although he'd drop hints, like he'd tease her about it a little bit. He'd drop hints, be like, "Oh, I know something about China," and she's like, "What? I can't tell you." Oh my gosh! But we diverged, didn't we?
Yeah, I have something important I need to ask you though.
Oh, what?
Did you cut your bangs?
Listen, I got a haircut. I went to go get my haircut. But then I just finished working out. So you're seeing them post sweaty workout. Don't judge, please.
Did you want bangs?
Yeah. I needed to go lighter. And my hair was a year and a half long and it was bad.
I said that in a way that made me maybe could be interpreted as I don't like your bangs. But I know that people sometimes cut bangs in a moment of uncertainty and in a grasp of control. They're
yes.
This is the one thing I can control in my life and I'm going to do it.
Is the bang.
My sister-in-law just cut her bangs too. And so I was like, Is it bang season? Is something happening? Am I about to cut my own bangs as well here? Is it happening? Is this the bang stage of the quarantine?
I'm starting a trend. It's bangs everywhere. Bangs, bangs, bangs.
No, they look very cute.
Thank you.
Do you remember that time that you shaved your head and then everyone else in your house shaved your head and you guys looked like you lived in a cult?
I do.
That's what that reminded me of.
It was me, Kat, and Mike. Our whole house. We shaved our
and
heads.
Maha and Brian too. Didn't all of you? It was
my
like all
God.
5 of you.
Oh my God, did we all?
You all had shaved heads. Like guaranteed people thought you were in a cult. And then Maha probably wore there were people with like sitars coming in and out of the house all the time because then Ryan was the yoga teacher. I mean,
constant ashram or kirtan music being played.
1,000% people thought you guys.
We were cult. Oh, I forgot to tell you about that, Alissa. Actually, we're cults. Oh, we'll take some cult stories too. Hey, what are we talking about today?
You know what? We're talking about any
Stories.
old ghost story or whatever we want. Anything we Googled today.
Cool.
Bringing them. So if you must know my genres this evening. One is I got a little bit of family lore, I suppose.
Is that your first one?
No, this is my last one. I'm going to follow it up. And then follow the first one up with, oh my God. Oh God, I hate myself.
I want to know.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. I got to shut up. I got to just shut up for my own sake for a second. I don't finish sentences and I'm like, I hear it editing and it's so fucking awful. It's so bad. And then I heard myself doing it and then I'm in my head about listening to myself not finish sentences and then I'm not paying attention to what I'm saying. I need the cult. I need some centering and maybe I should shave my head. You need a cult?
Yes, shave it. Wear an orange shirt. Okay. Get a sitar.
You are wearing an orange shirt, the one like you're wearing right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The bangs are just transitioned to shaving. Okay. So you can do this.
Step 1. Got it. Okay. I need to try this again. I have a haunting. Good old Alissa haunting.
Okay. Alissa.
Well, it's just Issaquah. Not yet. Just Issaquah.
Oh.
But someday.
All right. I'm ready. Tell it.
Okay. So my first story, Britt, I'm gonna tell you the story that kind of was my inspiration for wanting to start a paranormal podcast.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Because I'd been thinking about it and I was like, I don't know. So this is from Nicole. And I found this on Facebook and she says, has anyone on here ever lived or lives in this house? It's the quote unquote pink house on Front Street. I have some questions. And so people have started to probe. They're like, well, what do you mean? What kind of questions? And she said, I lived there as a kid from 1990 to 1997-ish, and my family had some very interesting experiences there and was wondering if anyone else had either. I would love to find out the history of this house. So, of course, people aren't just going to let that lie. They're like, okay, what are these?
What happened?
Yeah,
yes.
Dish. So she goes on to say, a picture would end up on the other side of the room. Once, my babysitter called the cops because she thought someone was in the house because the doors shut and locked us out. The main one was the lady that would watch my sister and I sleep at night. She never said anything, but we thought she was really nice and would just stand in the corner dressed in a long sleeve white blouse and a dark, long, high-waisted skirt. Kind of looked like the 1890s, and high bun. We were very small, and it was
staring at you?
Staring at from the corner. Of course. The corner. Over and over and over again. The ghosts are in the corner. We were very small, and it was normal to us, so it wasn't scary. The kitchen cupboards would close and open as well. I will have to call my mom later to ask what else she remembers too. I'm weird and I believe in all these kinds of things. But now looking back and thinking of the things that would happen, I really think that there was more than one person there, one quote unquote person there. I think the lady would watch over us and keep an eye on us. And I heard through the grapevine, so take it with a grain of salt, that the current owners had the home cleansed. I just want to know if that is true and if any other families had any other experiences there as well. And then
valid question.
Very valid question. So obviously piqued my curiosity. Apparently the house is like one of the original houses in town. It's a coal miner's house. A lot of these houses are made of like cardboard behind the walls and stuff too. Or the way that people describe them, it sounds like they're made of like it's a box fort that someone painted. But I think it's more complex.
Shanty town. Yeah.
More complex than that. And so someone did say it's an original house, one of the few left in town. And my mom's Sunday school's teacher lived there for years and years. I don't know who else lives there now. So my money's on Sunday school teacher, right?
Yeah, she sounds like a nice spirit to be watching over them. Although if I see a lady with like a high bun and like a long shirt, I don't know, that feels intimidating to me, but they don't. She seemed comforted.
You know who she described precisely is the granny from Tweety and Sylvester. Shut that. That's like exactly who I picture. So I'm pretty sure that's who was in the corner. Everyone.
To a T. At this point, if I'm that person, maybe you just knock on the door and you say, "Hey, I used to live here. Is it still haunted?"
I would want to know too if I heard that the house was cleansed afterwards, that they're like, oh yeah, they've had some experiences too.
I just love that it seems she's so, I'm going to probably say this, like nonplussed about a cupboard's opening, no big deal. Like, we just had a picture moved from here to there. Like it almost is like, yeah, it's just a good old haunting.
Yeah, like it was, she says she moved there as a baby. So it's just like what she grew up with, like what's normal, right? It's what just that's it. That's what happens. Yeah. She probably moves to another house. It's like, what the hell is wrong with all the doors here? They like just staying shut.
Why are these not opening?
Yeah. Where's the lady in the corner? Why isn't there anyone staring at me while I sleep? This is weird. The doors shutting from the outside and locking too remind me of your story in Austin. Like maybe it was a spirit that didn't want them there. Maybe they didn't pray hard enough.
She did say that it felt like there was like more than one.
But if it was a Sunday school teacher, she's like, say your prayers. Woo. The whole now I lay me down to sleep.
It feels intimidating to me.
I want her to be whispering something real creepy while she stares. The prayer is, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
Oh my God, in your ear while you're trying to sleep?
Yeah. Okay. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's my little story, my first little haunting. So go ahead. What do you got today, Britt? What's going on over there?
Okay, so I received a message from somebody that I actually contacted weeks ago when I was looking for Austin stories. Remember that episode? She says, I don't have an Austin story, but I'm from Killeen. So Killeen is a small town just northwest of Austin. It's about an hour from here. It's not too far. Smallish town. And she, her name is Yeli. Yeli. Yeli.
I love all your
names
down there. Which is
a little ironic because she's very soft-spoken and like is the sweetest person to talk to. Okay, so Yeli says that this story takes place when she was a senior in high school. And her mom had just moved into an apartment that I think it was actually a duplex that was near the high school there. Right away, when they first moved into this place, she felt really strange and uncomfortable in the apartment. And she thought maybe I'm just having some moving jitters, and she brushed it off as like, maybe that's what this weird feeling is. Now, she tells me, though, that she's always sort of had bad dreams growing up. It's sort of been just a part of like how she has been.
Okay.
Which we actually will circle back to that.
Okay.
But she rarely even has good dreams, she's told me.
Oh.
But she said that shortly after they moved into this place, she started having not just bad dreams, but horrible, horrible nightmares. It just feeling uncomfortable all of the time in this place, the nightmares and feeling uncomfortable. And she said it felt like somebody was just watching her. And she said it was really, really bad when she was alone in the apartment, and that somebody was just almost just like glaring at her. Now, Yeli has this adorable cat named Leah, and Leah is this white fuzzy cat who would sleep with Yeli in her bed at night. And in Yeli's bedroom, she has her bed in the middle, and then the middle backed against the wall. One corner is like towards the door, and the other corner of the bed is towards this corner that has this small window. Now, Leah would always be looking in this other corner, and for hours she would just be staring into this one corner where the window was. Okay. And this is the side of the bed that the cat would always sleep on too. Staring, sleeping, always on that side. And it wasn't an aggressive stare. It was always just kind of like curious, like something's there.
In the corner, though. Eyes on the corner.
Hmm. Okay. Well, so Leah had a bad habit. The cat Leah had a bad habit of during the night kind of scratching up furniture. And so they ended up at nighttime putting Leah in this little cage in the same bedroom as Yeli, but she's caged up so she can't go around the house scratching everything up. But Yeli noticed that when Leah was in her kennel and not laying on her bed next to her, that the nightmares were even worse than when Leah the cat was in the bed with her. And she would, at this point, they'd be so bad that they would wake her up in the middle of the night.
Are they non-specific nightmares? Or are they are you going to get to what the nightmares are about?
She did not go into specifics about the nightmares. She'd wake up and she'd feel like somebody was in the room with her. She couldn't see anything, but just feel it. And it got to the point where she's like constantly waking up from these nightmares every night. And it got to the point where she'd just stay awake because she just was so terrified. So one night, Yeli has another nightmare. Leah's in her kennel, and Yeli wakes up from her nightmare. Except this time, she looks over where she normally feels a presence, and she sees a dark, black, shadowy figure of a woman with long, black hair. And she's standing right by Leah's cage, and Leah, the cat, is staring up, looking at this woman. Black shadow figured woman. And Leah is not calm this time. She's on her haunches, and she's a quiet cat, doesn't hiss and stuff. So she's not making noise, but she's clearly in an aggressive mood, staring at the spirit. And as they're both staring at the shadowy figure, it starts moving closer towards the bed.
No.
It's important to note because Yeli wanted me to know that she has had sleep paralysis before.
Okay.
And this was absolutely not the same as sleep paralysis.
Okay. She's
awake, but I will say she's a bit in shock. She doesn't run directly out of the room. Yeah. She stays there and she's high alert, but she said she does have the ability to move.
Okay.
So the shadowy figure starts moving towards Yeli now. And then it gets on the bed, and she feels the knee of this shadowy figure on her leg, pushing down. And she starts crawling on top of Yeli. It gets worse. This woman, this shadowy figure, puts her hand around Yeli's throat.
What the fuck?
Now, she's not squeezing or pushing the air out or anything. She just is holding it there in this threatening, almost warning of if you're, I don't know, getting
I'm about to fuck you up, bitch.
A mobster trying to threaten you, pay up or whatever. Just yes. And
intimidate.
She says for a full minute, it feels like she's just she's kneeling on her and holding her by the neck. So at this point,
What?
she can't go anywhere because this thing is holding her down. And then a minute goes by and it vanishes.
What the fuck, Yeli? Oh, I'm so
my God.
sorry.
I know.
Yeli, did you have a sore throat going into this? And was it miraculously gone after, possibly? Maybe it was your spirit guide and she was like trying to drop hints. She had to get real aggressive with you. Like, you know what?
World's worst spirit guide.
She's in training. That'll be me.
So after that, Yeli's like, I don't give a fuck about the furniture. Leah's getting out of her cage and she is like,
Her protector.
Yes, you need to come sleep next to me. This shit didn't happen when you were sleeping in the bed with me. This happened when you were in your cage.
Oh, okay. Wait.
But,
so how do we know it's not the cat, the pissed off people spirit of the cat that like has peeled away from the cat and been like, let me out of this cage, Yeli. I don't like it in here. I need to thrash your furniture. Else I'm going to choke you.
Leah the cat sounds very similar to Yeli. She is the quiet type, not a big meower. She is timid, but also on high alert. I don't think that she was super pissed about the cage. I do think, though, that she wanted to protect her girl. Because Yeli still has Leah, and Leah is still her protector.
No, I agree. I just have never had a cat that hasn't just like bitched about being in a cage
Been an
and shit
asshole.
all over and pissed because they're in a cage, barf a little. Like they're just like, get me the fuck out of here. Like I've got real hung up on that. I was trying not to talk about the fact that she put the cat in a cage and it just slept there peacefully all night, but that's where my brain was for most of that story, was thinking about the cat.
I think it's a timid cat. I do think that Leah the cat really liked to like sharpen her claws on stuff, but I don't think that she's an aggressive gal.
Okay.
Okay, so after this traumatizing experience, Yeli actually ends up getting a night shift job at Wendy's from 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. She doesn't want to be alone.
She's like, I'm not doing that sleep shit.
No, she's truly traumatized by this horrible event. She does not want to be like having these sleep issues. And even like when she had to go back to the house, she would like have to pep herself up to be like, okay, you got this. Go inside the house. Okay. Because it was just constant feeling of just awful. So a few months go by from this situation and her mom, Yeli's mom and sister, go out of town and she doesn't want to be alone, obviously. And so she invites a friend to come over and stay the night with her while her mom's gone. And one of their coworkers asks, hey, can I come over too? And she's like, sure, why not? So her and her friend go and pick up this coworker at his house. And then they head over to Yeli's house. When they get to Yeli's house, the coworker, I don't have a name for him. What should we call him?
His name is Sebastian.
Love it. Sebastian immediately feels uneasy in the house. He goes in and he's just like, something's not right here. And so then Yeli was like, it's fine. Things are fine. She turns on the lights and then she turns on the TV and they start watching TV. They are not watching TV long before he stands up and he says, I really don't want to be in this house. And so, and they are like, okay, we'll go outside. And so then they go outside and she's like, what's going on? He wouldn't even talk to them. He didn't talk until they got to the very end of the driveway. And he says, sorry, I wrote this down. Get to the end of the driveway. He's absolutely terrified. Like he has this fear in his eyes. And he says, somebody is in that house and they are angry. They're very upset, and they are mad. Now, Yeli does not know this coworker very well. He's always just been pretty chill at work. Sebastian, laid back guy. You want to hang out? You're chill. Let's hang out. And so he goes on to tell them that while he is in the house, he sees the dark figure of a woman with long black hair. the exact description of Yeli's tormentor. So then they're like, okay, well, we definitely do not have to stay in this house tonight. So they end up actually all leaving the house and going and staying somewhere else for the night. And so I asked her, I said, well, did you ever see the woman again after that? And she said no, that she hadn't. But again, she let Leah sleep with her again. So maybe that helped. Or also she was working nights. But she did say that her nightmares continued, but then they just weren't nearly as bad when Leah was on the bed with her. So I asked her if she had some sort of sensitivity. Do you think that you can just feel things stronger than others? And she says that she thinks that she does because she's gone places where she's felt stuff and other people haven't. And so then she gives me another story about when her and a group of her friends in the middle of the night decided to go to this haunted bridge in Colleen. They drive up to the bridge and it's in the middle of nowhere. Like Colleen's already kind of this remote town. It's not super huge.
Okay.
And, but this old bridge is like off on a back road. It's in super forested area and they drive up to it. And it's closed off. So nobody can actually drive on the bridge. It's very old from the 1800s. And, they walk up to the bridge and Yeli gets this really unsettling feeling. She says that it feels like 1,000 eyes are watching her just from everywhere. Like just this constant, I mean, you know the feeling of when somebody's looking at you, but like she says it felt like 1,000 eyes were looking at her and she's unsettled and she says that it's even creepier because there's like this dilapidated old church nearby. Ooh. And the whole thing just feels very eerie to her.
And there's nobody out there. I mean, I think that 1,000 eyes on you when there's nobody around, that's
nobody.
Weird. That's creepy.
I think it was her and like 2 friends or something. So her friends say, hey, let's go walk on this old dilapidated bridge. And so they're walking towards the bridge and she notices this kind of vigil by the front of the bridge. And she says it looks old as hell, like maybe as old as the bridge. And she doesn't really give it too much thought, but as they're getting on the bridge, this uneasy feeling just keeps getting even stronger.
I'm sorry, did you say a vigil?
She said it feels like someone... Yeah, okay. She didn't know the term for it, and I don't know if this is what it was, but she said it was like this, it had like the candles that you would see to like light prayers with, the prayer candles, and then it was like set up in almost like this little box kind of a thing. So I would say like, oh, well, maybe that's like a little prayer vigil kind of thing, right?
It sounds vigil-ish, yeah. Candles, vigil-ish. Box thing. Okay, so go ahead. But you said vigil as old as the bridge, but the bridge is from the 1800s.
Well,
and like someone,
surely it's not. But she said it has been there for a while. Okay. I think was the point.
Got it.
So they're on the bridge, and it feels like somebody's literally like breathing on her, like someone's right next to her, like just
like back
on
off.
her, like yes, and so. And she's like, do you guys feel this? And they're like, what? Like nobody feels anything. And she's like getting it from all angles. She's like having people looking at her. She has this person like literally on her back. She's like, nobody else is feeling anything. But then as they're on the bridge, everybody hears this. They start hearing this rustling sound coming from the woods. And it sounds like it's at a distance, but it's like getting closer. And they're looking in the woods to see like, are the trees moving? Like, is this an animal? But it's coming at them from like both sides. But that was enough to just like freak them out a little bit, to just hear the rustling. And so they all turn around and start like walking back from the bridge. But then the noise starts getting louder and closer and closer. And she said that the bridge is dilapidated. There's like holes. Like if you fall through a hole, you're going down this like huge embank, like down into this river. But they don't care. They just like book it as fast as they can off the bridge. And as she's running, she's still feeling this like presence, like literally like
something's
right
gonna get her
on her back. Yes. And then they get off, and then she gets in the car, and like that's the end of that experience. Not too much longer though. She has a friend. She's drunk. It's 2 a.m, and the friend's like, "Let's go to the bridge." And Yeli's like, No, I don't like it. She's like, "Yes, we're gonna go." Ends up dragging her along to this bridge.
That's what you do.
I'm totally the drunk friend who would do that.
Yeah, but like, we're going to the bridge. I'm there. I'm in.
So this time when she gets out of the car, like she doesn't even have to get near the bridge. Instantly, she feels this uneasy feeling again. And as she's walking towards the bridge, she sees this vigil, and then things have been moved around on the vigil, like somebody messed around with it or something. And to her, she felt like when they did that, it almost like removed some sort of protective power, because she was like, the energy was just so strong that she didn't even want to go on the bridge. And the friend she was with didn't want to go on the bridge either. And then before they could do anything, an old pickup truck drives by, parks to where the headlights are flashing at the bridge, flickers the light at them, stays there a moment, and then drives off. And they're like, "Fuck this! It's 2 a.m. Why the hell is a truck doing it here?"
He's like, "Oh shit! There's some kids at the haunted bridge. I'm gonna go fuck with them."
Maybe, but this is like in the middle of fucking, like, this is not like nobody takes this road. It's not like there's houses around. Like, there's nothing out here. That was enough to be like, "We're out of here. Goodbye." So while I'm on the phone with Yeli, she's like, "Oh, let me look up the name of that bridge." And so I don't know if it was like Wikipedia or whatever. She's like, the name of the bridge is Maxwell Bridge, built 1914. So she's like reading out the facts. In the 1950s, it got water damage from all of these floods in this state, this state, this state. And then she gets to the location, the bridge. It's located at Farm to Market Road, whatever. And it is a thoroughfare directly to the cemetery.
Oh, my word. Holy shit.
She goes completely silent. And I was like, "Holy shit. All of those thousands of eyes that were staring at you were from the cemetery."
Oh, my God.
Like, she got a little emotional on the phone, and she was just like, "Oh, my gosh. I had no idea." And I was like, "I think you really do kind of have a gift.
Yeah.
I think you've got something."
That sounds terrible. I'm always like, I don't know. You know what? I'm good. Don't need that. I like being able to go to my bathroom, make a wish, and have it come true. I don't need your kind of.
She's haunted by this shit. So Yeli tells me that she thinks that she has this sensitivity or gift from her grandmother, because her grandmother has some pretty great stories too. Her grandmother's still alive, so I actually have this small part of myself that's like, can I get in touch with this woman? Because she sounds like she's got some awesome stories. I'm going to tell you one right now.
Yes.
When her grandmother was younger, much younger, she was taking a nap during the day, and she has this dream. And in the dream, there's this cat that's on this cabinet just hanging out. And the cat freaks out, jumps at the grandmother's neck, and claws the shit out of the grandmother's neck. And so the grandmother like wakes up startled from this dream. Her neck is burning. It hurts. And so she goes to her mom, and she was like, "My neck hurts." And her mom looks at her neck, scratches all on her neck. Cat scratches.
Do you not hear what you're saying? Do you not hear your words? And how Yeli has just had an experience. I said, it's the fucking cat. It's the cat. It's all related to the cat.
get this shit. Get this shit. The grandmother, later that day, same day, walking around, and who does she come across but the exact same black cat that was in her dream? Same day, encounters the same black cat.
Oh, I'm telling you, not mystery woman in the house. It is the fucking cat. It is the
Leah
reincarnation.
is such a precious angel white cat. I mean, not that it matters if it's a black or a white cat, but like angel cat doesn't even meow like my cat Penny, who's constantly meow for no reason.
Wait a minute.
What?
Well, okay, we could get deep into the representations of good and evil and culture and how. Okay, but
okay,
black cat. It's like. And now she's got this white cat who is now the black figure in Yeli's room went straight for her neck. I mean, it's the same fucking thing.
Neck.
It is the
fucking neck. Oh, I didn't even connect that, Alissa.
And then she's like, I think I got this from my grandma. I think there might be a curse involved. I think that there's
cases.
Some sort of curse, something involving cats, possibly a spirit exiled into a cat's body, something. That's it.
I did not even think about that. That's fascinating. So, okay. So when I went with this, though, I was like, oh my gosh, your grandmother's having dreams. You're having dreams. Yeli tells me about a dream that she has when she's about 11 or 12. And I told you she's constantly having bad dreams. So in this dream, she has a dream about this guy. And she said in each dream, it's kind of from a different perspective. But she sees a guy and he goes into the street and he gets hit by a car. And she's 11 or 12, so it's pretty traumatic. And she has this dream 3 times where this guy is going in the street and is getting hit by a car. 2 weeks after having these dreams, her mother informs her that her cousin has just been hit by a car, run over in the street.
Oh, no.
And Yeli is, she's just young, 11 or 12, but she's freaking out. She's feeling really guilty. She's like, I was given a sign that this was going to happen and I didn't tell anybody. Although she did say that the guy in her dream was not necessarily her cousin. It was just this sort of nondescript guy.
Yeah.
But she had a premonition that this was going to happen. So then she tells me about her dreams, that in her dreams, almost every time she is a different person in her dream, almost like she's sort of transported into somebody's body.
Ooh.
Like she had a dream just she said last night, I had a dream. I was in the car. I was a different girl. I'm in the car with these 2 people in front of me and they both look back at me and I know instantly that something really bad is going to happen. And I wake up. And it's like constantly these kind of like dreams of like she can't control the situation. She's just sort of thrust in these kind of dreams.
Oh, like she's living the worst parts of people's lives in her dreams. That's terrible.
And constantly, Alissa, constantly.
Oh, no.
Yes. And then with the crazy nightmare. So I even was like, well, maybe you have these spirits trying to contact you and the only way they know how is through dreams. But she has no way to control it and no way to understand it. And I was like, I wish I had answers. I was actually thinking, I'm like, we've talked about getting a psychic. Maybe I'll just have a psychic call you.
Yeah, that sounds
I wish I
awful.
knew.
You've said that you feel like a room is full or the room felt full. You often use that when you're describing a place or to describe that you think there's spirits there. I never feel that feeling ever.
Yeah.
That's a very hard thing for me to relate with. But you sound similar to Yeli and you guys do have that sort of sensitivity, more of a feeler of spaces or something. I get vibes off of living people. Spaces, I don't know. I just have anxiety in general. No place feels safe to me. But there's no places that feel No, the only place I've been like, get me the fuck out of here is at that kangaroo man's house in nearby. That when you were I was like, where was that? What was that place that I felt like I cannot be here anymore? I'm like, oh, it was that place. Get me out of this crazy barn.
Okay. Have you been to a party before where it's just it's maybe even a party that you don't actually want to be at? This is the best way to describe it. It's a party you don't really want to be at, and there's people in the room and you don't know them, and you're just like, I just am here and I feel uncomfortable, and there is just a lot. I don't feel like I can move around or be free because there's too many people I don't know around here.
But it's an empty room? Is this what you're saying?
Yes.
No.
That's the feeling though.
I get that feeling when there are people in the room. Yeah. Like the empty room is my kind of party.
That I'm trying to describe though, if you were to like be in that's the feeling of like,
just like, it's too crowded, just get me out of here, get out. I like hit that bong an hour ago. Not 15. Why'd I do that bong hit right when I walked through the door? I can't talk to anybody right now. I need to get out of here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I know that feeling.
Yes. Don't imagine that. And then there's just no people.
Okay.
So literally like 30 seconds before we started recording, I'm like, last minute homework. I'm like, I just need to look up this Maxwell Bridge. I just want to do it. We're about to hit record. I just want to look it up really quick. Listen to this.
Oh, I gotta look. Everyone, listeners, the look.
The bridge is notoriously haunted. This is true. Let me tell you the 3 things that people see.
Please.
Or maybe the rumors, the lore of the bridge.
Okay.
Some swear that the bridge is home to a class of ghost children who write messages on the dirt of your vehicle because there is this tale that a drunk bus driver drove off the bridge with the children.
No. Is that true? Did that happen?
No idea. I'm telling you, I just read this.
Okay.
2, perhaps it is the sad tale of a young man who hanged himself on the bridge because he was unable to rescue his girlfriend who had drowned in the river below the bridge, the Lampasas River.
Ooh, okay.
3, still others believe it is possible to witness a phantom truck come to the bridge deep in the night.
Oh, I got goosebumps. That gave me goosebumps.
The ever-loving hell.
Okay.
They just thought they were like, there's just, I was like, there's just some dick fucking around with these kids in the middle of the night. Flashlight, ta. But this is like notoriously witnessed a truck coming to the bridge at night. Deep in the night, it says. What? What?
I'm picturing some dude writing that Wikipedia entry.
He's the dude in the truck.
Like he's gonna start. Yeah, and he's the dude in the truck. Yes, like that dude.
I gotta dig around. I gotta find these truck stories now, though. Yeli doesn't even know about that because I wasn't. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. So I'm gonna go.
Oh my god, Yeli is a treasure, and I need to I feel like I need to solve her solution of like I think
she needs something.
We got to get a good psychic on her side to just be like, this is what you do when spirits are fucking around with you.
Yeah, because sounds unpleasant.
There's ways, right?
There's got to be. Whoever shut down the kids' spirits needs to go shut down Yeli's dreams. She needs one of them.
Yeah.
You know, a medium of some sort, something, because there's something going on there. And I'm sorry, Yeli, that sounds terrible. Does she still live in the house where this evil spirit grabbed her neck?
No.
Okay.
They only stayed there for the length of the duration of their lease, which I think was a year. So they were only there for a year, and then she graduated high school and moved on, and she's living in Austin now. But shit, that was just. I mean, that's terrifying. I do love. She still has Leah, and Leah is like very protective of her still, and
she's got to get the evil black cat. That's her role. She's little angel cat.
She has an angel cat. She's got a little black cat. Little yin and yang.
Yeli, thank you for your stories. Wow. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Your grandma
it was a
cursed.
delightful surprise.
There's some backstory, maybe some witchcraft, right? Right? Because witches
Grandma
have
has
cats.
some good stories.
Yes, I want to hear grandma's stories. I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, speaking of grandmas,
I
have a story about not grandmas, but grandpas, and not just any grandpas. A great grandpa of mine named John Gribben that we've Gribben.
We know Gribben. I know good old Johnny G.
I was actually trying to find a picture. Johnny G. Good old Johnny G, the innkeeper. I was actually trying to find like a picture for the show notes that I posted today and found another article.
Yes.
This one's dated September 29th, 1886. So our previous antics, those jovial antics of
shenanigans.
Yeah, shenanigans, axe-wielding, murderous, drunken shenanigans of my great-great-great-great-grandpapa happened, in it was the spring crazies. He just had a case of the spring crazies.
Said the spring crazies, that's all it was. Don't worry.
Yeah, April, March. Fall. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I find this article titled "Another Disappointment."
Oh. Oh no.
So it doesn't explicitly say this is John. But the fact this is another disappointment where they've already chronicled, I only read 2 of the several articles that he was featured in that would kind of talked about the same sort of stuff, his drunken antics. So another disappointment. Some weeks ago, a blatant tramp named Gribben, who careened through the streets of Harrisburg.
Tramp. Oh, it's getting worse for sure.
Who careened through the streets of Harrisburg wearing a red jersey and dirt enough on him to be a walking sample for a real estate agent.
I don't know what that means.
A walking, because he's got dirt on him. He is a piece of land. He is so dirty, he could be sold as land
because he's so dirty.
I think
okay.
This was very clever writing in 1886. I think that must be what he's meaning.
Hold on. 1886. It's not a sports jersey. What kind of attire is that?
I think it must just be a shirt.
Oh, not put together is what
I just think a red jersey. Yeah, I mean, back in 1886, do you wear proper
maybe long bottoms? You know those long johns where they button all the way.
Just like the one with his ass hanging out, the little flap. Is that what you're talking about? Sure.
Yeah.
Let's all picture that. Okay, listeners, all together. This is what he's wearing. He's wearing the pajamas. His ass is hanging out. That flap is just flapping in the wind, just covered in dirt, no shoes, hair just all over the place. He's got a beard because I think that was just in style. Also, he does not sound like the one who
has to be
well kempt. Okay, a little kooky looking. So he's wearing a red jersey and dirt enough on him to be a walking sample for a real estate agent, frightened a lot of ignorant people to whom he preached by asserting that on September 20th, the world would come to an end.
Oh, snap.
And strange to say, there were some who believed him. Not only ignorant people, but people of intelligence.
Wow, Gribben. Getting some followers?
Yeah, Gribben. The dirty old pajama wearing, ass wielding, dirty Gribben is getting through to some people.
Tell me more about September 20th.
They're like, this fella, he seems like he comes from some good stock. I think I'm going to hear him out.
He knows what he's talking about.
Oh boy. So today is the 29th of September, and this old world is booming along at the rate of 24 hours a day, full of peace and gladness, of sunshine and joy and mirth and sorrow and truth and honesty and good square yard, wide and all wool citizens. Jesus, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about at this point.
I'm loving this author.
And good
Journalist?
square yard, wide and all wool citizens. Okay. And red-shirted liars. Oh, that seemed like a straight up dig. Straight up dig at the old Gribbs.
Red shirt liars.
Okay. He's grouping him in with red-shirted liars and politicians and candidates and fellows making money and more that aren't making any, but are scratching along to get bread and butter and all sorts of good things and nil sorts of bad things. And the end of the world is not yet.
Wow, he is very upset by your great-great-great-granddaddy.
He just took me on a roller coaster of emotions. I don't know.
He is genuinely wanting to show him up that it is September 29th.
Oh, yeah. And he follows it all up. Gribben, go get thee to a bathery and take a good, square, honest wash. You'll feel better. Whew. Well, dear author,
wow.
I would advise the same to you. I think you would feel better. You need to.
He is real worked up over scrummy Gribbens.
The soothsayer, my great grandfather, the soothsayer, the spreader of just bullshit, apparently, because it didn't.
Oh
the
my
world
gosh.
did not end.
I
on
love
September 20th.
that he has made the newspaper so much. Like, he really is a go-getter.
He
Can
really
I just
is.
say?
Another disappointment could be that the world didn't end. I guess I interpreted it as there's a ragamuffin troublemaker rabble rouser in the Harrisburg Telegraph named Gribben, likely my great
Disappointing again.
Disappointed in the family again. I find this highly entertaining. It is my stock. I kind of love that he was like, it's the end of days. Beware.
I like that he got under that that journalist skin so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's a drunk. Go back and listen, dear folks, if you haven't, to 23 Mystery. But he's been known to have a few too many beverages. Yeah, but now I just love that he got under this journalist skin so much that he had to write a whole article.
I'm really questioning him looking like a plot of real estate now, because I think that this guy didn't want to paint. I bet he had a fine red shirt on. I bet he was looking very fine and spreading his word of the end times.
He may or may not have had pants on.
I don't think his ass was hanging out. I don't
think his ass was hanging out either.
At least
I think it was tight, buttoned up.
Nature versus nurture. I got a little bit of that in me. What is sad, though, is that there probably are very esteemed and established individuals who accomplished fine careers, families, that they just weren't batshit crazy making the newspaper, soothsaying and whatnot, but they get no cred from their great granddaughter because they didn't make the papers.
You're right, because they were law followers and not axe wielding and wearing clothes, and they didn't make the news.
So let this be a lesson to us, and all of you, dear listeners. Boring lives don't get talked about centuries from now. Make those papers for your grandchildren.
What are we gonna do? Although it's 2021 now, so it's gonna take a lot. Like, if you ran down the street naked, not a lot would happen. My sister on her Ring camera caught a nude woman coming up to their door. She just walked around for a little bit and then just left. Just nude walking around the neighborhood.
And that's it. No biggie. And it's like a splash for a second, maybe, and then nothing. There's just too much. Yeah, even if you do, there's just too much. It's there for a second and then it's gone. It's like a river of information. But you know what? I don't know if much has changed, I've realized, because it's like the Twitter of the 50s is that newspaper, man. Nothing's changed. We've just changed platforms. It's gone from twice a day, but the same shit. The content is pretty much the same. People are shaming, blowing them in. Like, you look at these old newspapers, it's all this. I mean, come on. Good old John. He's made it several times. They're talking about the dirt of the neighborhood.
He's like the social media star of the
He was
now
an
era.
influencer.
He was an influencer.
Influenced people about the end of the world.
100%.
Absolutely.
I'd follow him. I'd follow you, John Gribbs.
Weren't we talking about cults earlier?
Oh my God.
He's like, step one, cut bangs. Before September 20th. Work your way to
deadline. You got a deadline, Alissa. You never cut your hair. You're not going to do it. It's all tucked.
I kind of want some curtain bangs. I don't know. I would hide this Kennedy brow of mine, so wouldn't want to do that. No, brows are
in, girl. Get on that.
So, John Gribben, great-great-grandpa, the gift that just keeps on giving.
The gift that keeps on gribbing. If you have a delightful family tale or spooky tale or you have a tale, you can email us.
That some people do have tales. I guess I kind of want to know. Send a picture.
Me too.
I don't want to see it, but like
a human tail. Just tell us about it. We're audio podcast. We don't need visuals.
Describe it.
Stop.
Hey, Britt, if they want to call and describe their tale to us, what number do they call?
We're actually looking for some few stories.
I feel like it's going to include the word fleshy.
No. Okay, do it. Call us 302-689-DEAD. 302-689-3323. If you have a very detailed written description of your tale that you would like to write,
please email us at SkeleTalesPodcast@gmail.com. You can also DM us. We are on the socials. We're on Instagram at SkeleTales Podcast. Yes. We have a Facebook group. It's SkeleTales Community. Come on over. Post your picture of your tale there.
It's so fun. You know what? Fuck it. Do it. Just post that picture. You know, we're a fun-loving bunch. We won't judge you.
No.
It's fine. Your
they don't believe that.
Fleshy tail.
We might react in a way that's probably not appropriate.
I've got a few emojis I may throw towards it.
I'd have some questions.
Questions for days.
Mostly about removal and referrals.
Or like comfortability. I'm sensations.
Actually, I really do have some questions now. I never thought about this before.
So Twitter? Did you say Twitter?
Twitter. Tweet us. Oh, I don't want to go too off topic, but we got touched by Jermaine Clemens touched us this week on the tweeters, and I don't think I can tweet again after that. So he's promoting Wellington Paranormal, which I just pretty much pretended was a real documentary, right? That was my comment on the Twitter. I was like, this is really, really informative for paranormal ecologists and anthropologists. It's apparently a spinoff of What We Do in the Shadows. And it's paranormal police officer. Or I don't know, something, but I think it would be fun to have them on the podcast. That's my point. In character. And we interview them.
If you follow us on Twitter, you're basically best friends with Jermaine Clemens. And
the dick pics are going to be showing up any day now. I can feel it. No.
I'm so ready. Actually, we won't see Alissa for a week. She's like, I've been busy.
I've been really into the socials. Twitter. So yes, please tweet us your tale on Twitter. We're all over the place. You know how to find us. If you want to find us, we are findable.
Alissa, this has been genuinely an absolute delight with you tonight.
It has been such a nice time, as always, Britt. Hey, Britt.
What?
Haunt you later.
Haunt y'all later.
Good night.
Good night.